Gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to a classic game. One that many seem to fondly recall during the development of the interwebs.
I believe you meant to say the internet.
And it says a lot when the youngest of us has managed to mess that up.
As if you wouldn't make that same mistake.
At least my old age is a valid excuse.
Hey, let's forget about our ages for a minute. How are plants defending themselves against zombies? And what's the point of this game if the winner's already as clear as day?
Well, now, that's something you have to leave to the imagination.
Indeed, Reagan has said it best. Do not concern yourself with the story's realism. You should instead focus on the message rather than the presentation.
Focus on the message, huh? Interesting. Perhaps I'll give your idea a try.
Mind telling us how we'll be doing this then, Jack?
Simple questions can only have simple answers in turn. One man shall play 5 levels in the campaign before making the switch. However, there'll also be challenges set by myself that will make our experience a little more unique and entertaining.
You've certainly got my attention with the entertaining part.
Who plays what challenge?
Since we'll mostly be in the tutorial portion, we won't have anything special added to it. But after my turn, the challenges will commence.
Already making it easy for yourself? I wonder who could have seen this coming.
If it helps you sleep at night, unlike Nixon over here,
Hey!
I believe you 3 will find this game quite easy to navigate. Unless I am overestimating your, gaming prowess.
Okay, just for that, Jack, I'll let you have this one. But your freebie won't change my position in being the best damn general of these plants.
We'll see if you can back that up later.
In that case, I think it's about time we start.
I second that.
All right, brace yourselves.
Ooh, my God!
That was definitely unexpected.
Jesus, did you two seriously flinch over that?
Oh, maybe just a little. You didn't? These video games get scarier by the day, I must say.
And zombies are nothing to mess with, Linden. Dare!
What did you say at the end?
I don't think we want to know.
Anyway, observe what I do here. All you have to do is click the suns that fall down, place the plants on this lawn, and make sure the zombies do not invade your house.
Why can't I just kick their ass in the house?
Because that is not how this game works. As much as I would actually prefer to handle these zombies myself.
That blows like Jumbo on one of its bad days. That reminds me, Johnny.
Please don't finish that sentence.
Did someone just say that the zombies are coming?
Nixon, we talked about this.
Sounds like someone breaking in.
It's just a warning, Dick. Settle down.
What a pretty sunflower. Reminds me of my beautiful wife, my dear Nancy. I recall how we'd frolic in the flower fields of a garden just outside the Whitehouse. These old bones of ours were getting frail from the amount of work piled up on us every day, and I'll never forget how scarce those times were. As a president, you realize that the most mundane moments of our lives are more precious than we thought they were.
You, make a good point there. I didn't realize how much my life would change either.
When it comes to making a difference, I wouldn't take back my presidency. I did what I felt obligated to do, even if there are some mistakes I wish I could take back.
Am I the only one confused as to why we are suddenly getting all sappy? Look, if you have a crush on the sunflower, Reagan, I'd rather you just say that than make Nancy the substitute.
Ha ha, how funny. Unfortunately, the only thing I'll be cheating on my wife with is a classic game of bingo. I don't know how she does it, but she beats me at it every time.
I have a question. How are the plants even alive?
Well, I did a quick search prior. I don't think there's a canon explanation. But it may have something to do with a certain crazy friend of ours.
Who might that be?
You'll know when you see them.
I have a feeling that whoever it is, Nixon's going to like them.
Now, what is that supposed to mean?
You tell us. Imagine a crazy friend meeting a paranoid friend of ours.
I'd like to think that's another way of saying that I am more rational than you give me credit for.
Speaking of rational, I like the organization of your plants, John.
Thanks, Reagan. Talk is cheap, but actions are rich, which is one of many mottos I like to live by. I prefer to organize my rows neatly, in a way that's pleasing to the eyes. Sunflowers in one row, pea shooters in the next, and so forth. Call me a perfectionist. But I dare say that if there is no organization, your plants on the field are more likely to fall apart.
So in other words, you like playing it safe? Guess I can see why you decided to add some challenges.
If it's up to the rest of us to be creative in our placements, I would make some shapes on that lawn as a fashion statement, to show how uncoordinated and boring the zombies are in their formations compared to our superior plants.
Wherever the zombies are, that's the row I'm moving the entire army to. No exceptions. Yes.
Oh, to hell with organized, fashionable, or one-way formations. I'd rather go all out and place my units wherever I damn well please.
I'm happy to hear that all of you seem to know what you want to do in this game. I was honestly a little worried that you three wouldn't stick around to try it, but it looks like we can make something work with this after all. By the way, Reagan, is there a little story coming to mind for this cherry bomb we just picked up?
For God's sake, John.
Huh?
I think I'd like to keep quiet about this one.
Oh, I didn't think that question through. I'm sorry, Reagan. I should have known the answer before I asked.
I guess Bay of Pigs wasn't a big enough lesson for you?
Shut it, Lyndon. I apologized. I've realized that any conversation involving bombs with us four is just going to get us into a heated argument on who did the least or worst damage. So it's a good thing Reagan didn't lead us in that direction.
Exactly that, what he said. I wouldn't want to ruin the mood.
Well, think before you speak next time.
Sure, I'll do that.
Another final wave for you to conquer is here.
Will he dominate these masses? Or surrender to the zombies?
Even the easiest mobs to deal with can catch you off guard, especially when you underestimate them.
I feel like the three grandpas beside me are simultaneously waiting for a screw-up to validate their concerns about my ability to play the game. I don't know if I should consider that motivational.
I won't feel ashamed about my age, you pointed out, but I was only reiterating what was on the screen.
Two grandpas then. No matter though, I still came out on top for the fourth level.
I'd attribute it to beginner's luck, if anything.
Of course you would.
Wait. This thing is named a wall. Nut?
Reminds me of when the Berlin Wall fell.
Ah, thanks for sharing. I was wondering what happened to that.
You didn't hear of it?
I might have been busy that day.
I'm surprised you haven't been in a hurry to mention how much you love this plan in particular. You once said that you could keep democracy intact without putting up walls. But you sure did put up a lot of them when it came to your
God damn it, Lyndon. You know how hard it is for me to not fall back into old habits? Will you let a man change?
Why don't we tone down our feelings towards each other, you two?
I don't know, Reagan. He's been really pushing it with me today.
I'm normally not one to pick sides, but it is true that Lyndon was consistently stirring him up first.
Do you agree with that, Reagan?
I think you know that as politicians, we shouldn't be trusted to give direct answers, including to each other. So all I can suggest is taking a little breather when Kennedy is finished with his turn.
I'll think about that.
Wow, the crickets are loud in here. How about a joke? A middle-aged man asks his friend if he's seen his wife lately, and this friend was the only guy still close to him after marriage. His friend nods his head, saying, "Yeah, I saw her get eaten alive." The middle-aged man widens his eyes, flails his arms around like a bird screaming. "Eaten alive? Why didn't you tell me sooner?" The friend goes, "Well, I thought it would upset you." And the middle-aged man responds with, "Are you kidding? That would be a one-way road to immediate divorce." Then it becomes his friend's turn to be shocked. That's not what he meant at all. He scrambles to clarify, "Oh, I meant that she got eaten alive." Literally. After a pause in the middle-aged man's panic, he chuckled. Quite light-heartedly, I may add. Really? Ha! Guess she's the one who ended up divorcing me first.
Ha 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 ha!
Ah!
What in the hell? You're not being helpful in my recovery, Reagan.
Well, I doubt you'd be able to do better than that.
I'd like to hope I won't with that kind of humor. Nonetheless, I can appreciate your build-up to jokes, even though I already saw it coming when the eaten alive thing got mentioned.
Maybe you should aim for his funny bone next time. Lately, he's been like a miserable little puppy ever since he stopped trying to compete with Jumbo.
Lyndon?
Ooh, my bad. Forgot I had to stay quiet for you to have some peace.
Why do you put those walls? Not so far away from your sunflowers and pea shooters.
Ignoring how you said walnut in such a strange way again? It's for in case I stack up a lot of my plants. It doesn't make sense for me to place the walnuts directly in front of those other plants, because then I may have more spare suns than I know what to do with.
So what if we see zombies climb through those fences, attacking our defenseless plants?
Good thing we don't have to worry about that, since it's not a feature.
How unrealistic. Back in my day, the zombies would get in from any open space they could get through.
Is that another one of those dreams you've had?
I'm telling you that it used to be a real-life experience, Reagan. Nowadays, you all are spoiled by this period of peace.
Then the rest of us sure are lucky to have missed it.
It must be nice to have a short-term memory.
Ooh, and you called this game unrealistic?
Gentlemen, we can debate on what is and isn't realistic some other time. Look at what we have here now, a shovel.
What is so special about that?
You'll see it in action soon.
It's just for scooping up our plants.
What's the issue?
I don't know. You looked a little too excited about it.
I don't like being unable to tell if you're trying to rile me up again.
Oh, look. Nixon's friend is here.
No dear friend of mine would wear a pan on their head.
Yeah, he'd have to wear a tinfoil hat instead.
Damn you, Kennedy! I bet this is what that smile of yours was for.
It sure was, but not just to make fun of you. I know how passionate you've been about zombies lately, so why not introduce you to someone who can relate?
Do you really mean that?
You're damn right I do. I'll throw in my 2 cents and say that I even believe you.
I'm starting to think that handing over the mental health responsibilities to the states is beginning to affect us in real time.
I can't help but wonder how long they'll keep this up for.
Hey, you never know what's out there until you see it. But I digress. Crazy Dave has instructed us to clear our lawn. Pay close attention, or you might forget the shovel's existence later on.
As a matter of fact, why has that blue circle been going all crazy this entire time?
Have you not been hearing the music, Lyndon?
Carry on. That's something I can't argue against.
W-A-A-L-L-L. Nut.
Where did the extra A's and L's come from?
From the nut, Reagan. The nut.
Good grief.
I'm proud of you, Nixon. In other news, dumbass Dave did not have to announce that he's crazy to us. We already knew before he said his first words. And bowl him a winner. We're not at a bowling alley. How does that make any sense?
Actually, this is going to be a mini-game level, so it makes perfect sense for him to say it.
Walnut. Bowling? Nothing will change my mind about this being the best minigame.
Not a bad choice. Sure, it doesn't require much skill to beat. But what's most important is your enjoyment at the end of the day when it comes to these games. At least in my opinion.
Yes, the only thing you ought to need skills for is simply beating a game. Some kids used to complain about how difficult the older games were. And, well,
Howie!
I do acknowledge that we can't have it be too easy either. If it's just right like this one seems to be, then that's all we need.
Howie!
For me, my stance will be non-negotiable on skill being a necessity, especially if you want to consider yourself one of those pros. I mean, how else will people want to do better and climb up the ranks?
Howie! Oh yeah!
Damn it, Nixon, will you cut that out? Why do you keep saying that? The adults are talking here.
At least I'm not engaging in a soapbox session that already has an answer, which for some reason we haven't thought of yet. You like what you like, that's that. Now, if you three can stop acting like we're in a campaign debate, that'll be great, Howie.
He's got a good point.
Zip it, Kennedy. You started this.
And you participated, knowing you didn't have to.
What the hell is happening, John?
Quit complaining and panicking. They're not getting through that red line.
I don't think he's overreacting. Those zombies are getting awfully close.
Are we finally going to see you lose in the so-called tutorial portion?
Kenneth Linden, you're not going to have the pleasure of watching me lose. I won't allow it. And what do you know? I took care of that on the first try. Got any clever remarks for that in your quiver?
It's as I've said before, Johnny boy. It's just beginner's luck.
You know, one time there was...
Reagan, I don't trust any stories you have related to a potato mine.
But it's not related to me being a president at all. I was about to say that there was a time where a lot of old friends called me Dutch. There's just something about this plant's face that brought a few memories back regarding that time.
Wait, really? Why were you called that?
Well, my father had a habit of referring to me as his fat little Dutchman. It honestly took me a little bit to accept it, until my friends started calling me Dutch too. Thinking back on it now, it's like talking about my past self without all the money and cameras.
I see. My nickname doesn't really have a special origin like yours. Kinda wished it did, though.
I find it strange that you didn't know about that either. I thought he would have told you. At least with how long we've known each other.
Weren't you supposed to take a break after my turn?
What if I want to play right now?
Lyndon, I promise that you'll be better off taking that break like Reagan suggested.
I don't know what you two are going on about, but if Kennedy wants you to take my advice, you should probably do it.
Nixon, this is where I'll hold your paranoia in high regard. Johnny boy over there is clearly showing signs of hiding something. Won't you back me up on this?
Sorry, Lyndon. I think you're acting more paranoid than me in this situation. How about you take a walk outside the White House, huh?
I see how it is. Fine, I'll take my leave. But I'll be back before you know it. Believe it.
So who's volunteering to go next? I guess we'll also take a short break too.